Hello, everyone. Welcome to this quarter's Philly Forum. I'm Michelle Glaze, Director of Professional Outreach for the Foundation Fighting Blindness, and we are excited to have another group of robust presentations from professionals in Philadelphia and surrounding areas. Just a reminder about Philly Forum. This is a platform through which professionals serving the blind and low vision community in Philadelphia and surrounding areas can come together to showcase services, resources, and any other pertinent information that may be of interest to professionals in the local community. We have 5 presenters this evening that are going to share about their facility or organization and the services or resources they have available to individuals with low vision or blindness and their families. So we're excited to have a great group here. I am joined by Andrew Kim, who is our professional outreach coordinator. The session today will be recorded, as Andrew mentioned, and we will have that available to all of you. Please feel free to share it, and please feel free to invite your professional network to join our next Philly Forum, which will be in August later this year. So I am going to start by introducing our founding members, and then we'll get started with the presentations. During the presentations, if you have questions, please feel free to enter those into the chat. We will hold all questions until the end, but Andrew will monitor that Q&A, and any questions that have been entered into the chat will be addressed at the end of today's session. So I'd like to start by allowing each of our founding members to introduce themselves. I will start with you, Ranjoo.
Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Ranjoo Prasad. I'm an optometrist. I'm currently practicing low vision rehabilitation over at Wells Eye Hospital, and I'm currently an optometrist at the Philadelphia VA Hospital.
Thank you. Beth, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, excuse me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Beth Deering. I am here with my lovely colleague, Melody May, our Director of Programs. I'm the Chief Program Officer at VisionLink. We provide services for individuals with vision loss to advance necessary skills to become more independent at home and in the community. We also provide a resource and referral network for any additional services that individuals may be in need of. Thank you for having us, and everyone for joining tonight.
Thanks, Beth. Lora?
Hi, my name is Lora Swatko. I kind of wear 3 hats here. I have low vision myself. I have Usher syndrome. I work with BIT, the Blind Institute of Technology. I do community and professional outreach for them. And I also do volunteer work for the foundation and love working with Michelle Glaze.
Thank you, Lora. Well, Andrew and I are delighted to have all of you here. Bailey Bosselman represents our Philadelphia chapter. She may be on the call today, but if not, just wanted to represent her as well. We are so delighted to have the opportunity to work with the founding members, and we're excited about all the presentations tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to hand things over to Andrew so that we can get the presentation started. Thank you.
Well, thank you everyone for coming tonight. I'd like to start off this evening with our first presentation by Dr. Erin Kenny, who is a low vision rehabilitation specialist, chief of the Feinblum Rehabilitation Center at Salus University, and associate professor at the College of Optometry. Tonight, Dr. Kenny will cover the various low vision and rehabilitation services available through the Feinblum Rehabilitation Center. So, Dr. Kenny, please take it away.
Thank you so much, Andrew. And I just want to kind of echo what everyone has been saying. It is really an honor to be presenting with all of you. I know that we all have the same passion for low vision and low vision rehabilitation. So what I'm going to be talking about just briefly is what we do at the clinic. So just to kind of make it a little bit easier, Salus University is the overall university that has multiple different colleges. We will be merging with Drexel University starting in July. So that's definitely a change that's coming. But then underneath that umbrella of Salus University is the Pennsylvania College of Optometry. So that's where I graduated from. And within that Pennsylvania College of Optometry, there is a clinic called the Eye Institute. And that is where the William Feinblum Vision Rehabilitation Center is located. So if you ever call the Eye Institute, if you want to say, you know, I want to be seen by a low vision optometrist, you will be scheduled at the William Feinblum Vision Rehabilitation Center. So one thing that I really like to just really highlight and talk about is we do practice an interdisciplinary approach and when we are seeing our patients who have visual impairment. So starting the process before, if a patient is scheduled in our clinic, they get an intake with our social worker. Her name is Marcy, and what she kind of does is kind of gets an overall layout of how an individual is functioning in different areas that we can help. And then after that, you will be evaluated by an optometrist. So at the clinic, we have 3 attending low vision optometrists who are all low vision residency trained. And then we do have 1 low vision resident as well, who is a doctor who is training to be specialized in low vision. One thing that I really want to highlight again is we are a teaching institute. So one thing that I try very hard is to educate the future minds of optometrists that are graduating and to be knowledgeable about low vision rehabilitation and what we can do. So if people are referred to our service, more than likely you will be working with a student intern, obviously with an attending doctor being a part of the case. So then after that, we often refer to different rehab specialists. We might refer to, we're very lucky, we have an orientation and mobility specialist on staff. We have a vision rehabilitation therapist on staff. We have an occupational therapist who is trained in low vision. She also has a CLVT, which is a certified low vision therapist. So just depending on what our patients' needs are, their goals, we then kind of direct them to those different rehab services. We also do refer out as well. So we love VisionLink, we love BBVS. We are definitely fans of all the resources that are available. So it's so nice to be presenting with all of you. A couple things also that we have as part of our programs, we see the entire age spectrum. So you cannot be too young or too old to have an evaluation at the clinic. We have one program called Spark. Spark is Specialized Pediatric Assessment Rehabilitation Center. So these are individuals who have a visual impairment and may not be able to undergo a typical low vision evaluation. Maybe they have another disability. Maybe they're under the age of 3. If there's something else, maybe they're nonverbal. Those would be different things that would be we would look at, and we may support a patient to be seen in that Spark program. So in Spark, we still do the same thing. We make recommendations. We write a lot of letters. A lot of it's discussion and understanding. So that's one of the programs I wanted to highlight. We also have a low vision mobile clinic. So during the school year, every Tuesday we go out to different programs and we do low vision examinations. So that might be at intermediate units. It might be at St. Lucy's School for the Blind, Overbrook School for the Blind. So that's a program that we're very proud of as well. We like to go out into the community, especially at those different intermediate units and schools, and we do evaluations and make recommendations there as well. And then finally, Marcy, our social worker, she actually runs a support group once a month as well. So that's another program that we offer to our patients, where, you know, it's kind of nice where they have that common meeting ground. I know I know all of you understand that, but so once again, she does a support group once a month where patients can kind of just sit, and she's more of a moderator. She's more of a facilitator in that discussion. So overall, one thing that I just really want to emphasize is we are very big believers of a goal-oriented exam. I am more than happy to look at the ocular health of these patients, but really our driving force is function. So if a patient is evaluated elsewhere, maybe at an MD or another optometrist office, and they're having their ocular health evaluated there, we are more than happy to see them for their functional goals. So I always say to the interns, you know, what does the patient want to be able to do? And that's how we kind of direct all of our examinations. So once again, I am just very, very happy and privileged to be here. And if anybody has any questions, they can definitely type it in the chat box and we'll answer it after the session.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kenny. That was awesome. It was a great overview of all your services at the William Feinberg Rehabilitation Center. And it's going to be cool. I didn't know you guys were going to be merging with Drexel University. That's going to be pretty interesting. So
Yes, that's a great word to say. Interesting. Yes.
please keep us up to date. All righty. Well, thank you again. And on to our next presentation. Our next presenter this evening is Trisha Ebel. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Hold the audio.
Yes, that's fine.
Right. An outreach specialist and brain education trainer, very cool, at the Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey. Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey is a nonprofit organization that seeks to empower those in the low vision and blind community by providing support education, training in assistive technology, and independent living skills. Trisha, please tell us more about Vision Serve Alliance of New Jersey.
Sure. So Vision Loss Alliance of New Jersey, we have been around since 1943, and we have been getting bigger and bigger and offering more and more sessions as time goes on. You stated what our mission was. Thank you very much. So our goal is to support individuals that are losing their vision or have lost their vision, as well as support for family members and friends of the individuals that have vision loss. So we are located in northern New Jersey, in Morris County, Denville, New Jersey. And we do have in-person classes, but not only that, so I'm here to focus and give you all information on all our virtual offerings that we have. So we do hold our in-person classes Monday through Friday, and we do all types of different things in person. Well, how do I say it? Not thanks to COVID, but kind of thanks to COVID, we were able to now start a new platform and offer so many virtual offerings for our participants. And the nice thing about our virtual offerings is it's all free. There's no charge. We're able to provide these services due, from some tremendous grants that we have received. And so a little bit about our virtual programs. We run our virtual programs in 12-week sessions as we do our in-person programs. And we have our meetings Monday through Thursdays. And we do a lot of evening offerings as well. So no age limit. It doesn't matter. Family members can join in any of the virtual meetings as well. Even if it's not for families, we encourage everybody to come by. So a little bit of what we do is, for starters, for recreational purposes and for health reasons, we offer 3 different yoga classes. One is a mindfulness and meditation. That's on the first Monday night of every month. We have a Hatha yoga class on Tuesdays. We do mindfulness and meditation also on Tuesdays. We have a yoga class on Mondays as well. And we also have an energy yoga class called Energy Yoga for Serenity and Peace. I'm the instructor for that one. So with that, it's a little more of an upbeat yoga class. It's a lot of rhythm and movement. And it's almost sort of like a dance, and then we have like 10 minutes of relaxing at the end. We also have a fit and balance class for our participants on Mondays as well. And so what a lot of people think is like, oh, how can I do these classes? I really can't see what they're doing. So most of our instructors are all either blind or visually impaired. We are totally descriptive. So you don't even need to see what's going on in order to follow us. We do a total descriptive of everything that's happening, and it's working out really, really beautifully. And the funny thing is, we even have some sighted people, family members, that join in the classes because they're so great. So those are our wellness classes. We also do every Wednesday at 1 p.m. we do a support group meeting. So this support group meeting is called Beyond Basics, and we offer different speakers, different presentations, but we also do discussions over the course of the time. And we always ask everybody, keep yourself unmuted unless you have background noise. We really want you to participate, and tell us what you need and join in the conversation. And, and it's been, even though it's on Zoom, it really is working out nice. It's been a nice group of people, and everybody feels comfortable and everybody shares, and they really, really feel that it's been helping, which it is. It's wonderful. The second Wednesday night of each month, we have our Strive, Strength Through Relationships, Values, and Education. And so this one was geared for family members and friends of people that are blind or visually impaired. And so we're offering family and friends the support, because we know when somebody has vision loss, it doesn't just affect the person, it affects the family and the friends around them. So again, with this one, we try to have a guest speaker every other month. We do a discussion and presentations. And again, we have it very, very interactive. After each meeting, we always send out the resources by email. The last Wednesday night of the month, we have Tech Talk. So we'll have somebody come in that's in the tech world and talk about the latest and greatest of technology. Another Wednesday night, we also offer our Arise series, where we have inspirational speakers come in, and we do a lot with technology as well. The third Wednesday of the month. So it's really been a great group of classes, that we are able to offer. And being that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, this month we're doing a lot with mental health. And we also would, assist anybody that wants to call us, even if they're from another state. We also have lists of therapists that are blind. We have lots and lots of different resources that we can offer, as well as giving out all the information we learn here. So, that's a little bit about us. I know I only had a little bit of time. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out and get in touch. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
Thank you, Trisha, for coming tonight and telling us about your services. It's pretty awesome that you guys have such a comprehensive and various list of all these online classes for folks. And just as a reminder, as Trisha said, all contact information will be made available after this call and through a follow-up email of everyone that attended tonight. All right. Thank you. All right, to our next presentation. It is by Alexander Shay, the Assistant District Administrator for the Bureau of Blindness and Visual Services, or BBVS for short. BBVS offers services such as employment assistance, entrepreneurship assistance, and independent living skills, just to name a few. So Alexander, please tell us more about BBVS.
Thank you, Andrew, for introducing me, and thank you to Beth for inviting me originally for this. Unfortunately, Andrew, I was promoted to district administrator a year and a half, so I had to drop the assistant role. I do have somebody in that position, so like many of us, I wear the weight of the office. Okay, so BBVS, I think a lot of the folks know about us on the call. Some familiar faces I recognize. So to go over briefly, BBVS, Bureau of Blindness Visual Services, we're part of the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. And so we're federally and state funded. There's an agency like this in all 50 states and the territories. So we're a state agency. This is under the Pennsylvania Department of Labor and Industry. There's a couple of different bureaus. So we serve primarily blind and visually impaired. Our sister agency, which we share office space in Philadelphia, is the Bureau of Vocational Rehab Services. So they're what's known as kind of the general disability agency. So the mission of BBVS is to assist Pennsylvanians who are blind or visually impaired to work and maintain independent lives. So, we do services across the lifespan, which I'll touch on in a little bit. And our emphasis is on rehabilitating individuals whose disability is primarily vision loss. They can have other disabilities, and a lot of them do, but they have to have the blindness or visual impairment. There's 6 of our offices throughout the state. I'm not sure where. I think there's some people calling from Philadelphia. Maybe it's statewide. We have New Jersey, which I am a resident of South Jersey. Not as far as Morris County, but I think Somerset. So the 6 district offices are Altoona, Erie, Harrisburg, Philadelphia. That's us. So we're in the Southeast. We have Bucks, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, and Philadelphia. And then Pittsburgh and Wilkes-Barre. So our criteria that we look at as far as eligibility is we usually get vision reports, Dr. Prasad and Dr. Kenny on the call. We get referrals from you all the time. So the information we're looking at is which we're not optometrists, but we try to do our best. I mean, the staff at with Dr. Prasad at Will's Eye and Dr. Kenny at the Eye Institute are try to help us out as much as they can. What we're looking at is a 20/70 or greater loss in a better eye, and that's for visual acuity. Visual field loss of 20 degrees or greater. We also look at if there's a diagnosis of progressive vision loss. And then if sometimes we see some borderline cases, so we're looking at, okay, what could the customer benefit from us? So we look at their limitations. So what kind of services would they need? If they're tripping, having a hard time with seeing curbs at night, orientation mobility, at home with, home maintenance. So we certainly consider that. And honestly, most people that are referred to us are usually eligible because we find that customers, by the time they get to us, they most likely might have done everything they can medically, and then their plan is now focusing on rehabilitation. So there's 4 overall programs. Our main program is the vocational rehabilitation. So that's working age individuals that are seeking employment or maintaining work. Our social workers handle 3 programs. There's the children's program for blindness specialized services child, and then the adult program. Now these are like fully state programs, so this is something unique to Pennsylvania. So the children is up to 14, so we participate in IEP meetings. We see what the school's providing, and we look to supplement, not take over what they're doing or supplant. So if they need any help with nighttime homework or summer instruction, you look at that. The adult program is very small. Unfortunately, that's for working age individuals that report that they're not able to work. And there's so many reasons, right? You're taking care of an aging parent, you're a parent, a mother, a dad, both trying to just take care of your children. Maybe this disability is too significant. Maybe work's not in the cards right now. So we look at basic health and safety, and that's pretty much defined as O&M and VRT, which is on a limited basis. And then there's an older blind program, the Independent Living Older Blind Program, which is for retired individuals who are over 55. There's also a mention about the Business Enterprise Program, which is under the Federal Randolph-Shepard Act, which entails having individuals who are legal blindness to be able to run food stands and vendors. Vending machines. So like maybe the truck stops you see on the turnpike, there might be a blind vendor who's operating those types of machines. Okay. So, the program in general, other programs, we're focusing on the individual's needs, not necessarily what they want. So sometimes that might lead to a clash. We try to, take care of that during the assessment and planning process. They have, we of course, believe, there's a lot of our providers on the call believe in informed choice. If individuals are not satisfied, they have the client assistance program, which is a third party that can help them navigate this process. Just in overall services that we do, there's an emphasis on employment. So we look at a work assessment, employment evaluation, the counseling guidance, which is the core task of the counselor social worker, different types of training, including college sponsorship, job placement, assistive technology and training, adjustment to blindness, which might involve going to a particular center that might have a comprehensive menu of services offered to the individual, orientation mobility, and vision rehab therapy. Just to mention, as far as our VR program, there's a block of funding that is under the federal law, the Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act, which is how we get our funding as amended as of 2014, signed by President Obama. So there's a menu of services that are emphasized for pretty much 14 to 22-year-old youth that are pretty much likely in high school or some kind of post-secondary education. Emphasis on job exploration, self-advocacy, work-based learning experience, which is really pushed because, as you can imagine, your first job that you might have had, it's really rewarding to get that paycheck, and you're tying the value of work to earning something, an incentive that I can use to spend, hopefully not on, an expensive pair of shoes, but that's sometimes you just need to treat yourself. Workplace readiness training, and then counseling on post-secondary training. Okay, I know we have a brief amount of time. Okay, I think that's a quick summary. How did I do, Andrew? What's my time?
You're doing good, Alex.
Okay, so that's all I have.
All righty. Well, thank you for giving us such a detailed overview of BBVS and all those great services that you mentioned for the blind and low vision community. All righty. So thank you again, Alexandra. And we'll be moving on to our next presenter, which I'm not sure. Do we have both people here? So our next guests are Thomas Diagostino, Senior Assistive Technology Program Coordinator, and Jewel Ann Lieberman, Certified Blind and Low Vision Therapist at TechOWL, an assistive technology program based out of the Institute of Disabilities at Temple University. Thomas and Jewel Ann, please tell us more about TechOWL.
Great. Hi. So I'm representing just TechOWL, so Julian did not make it on the call. And today I'm going to focus on how you can explore, get, and learn about assistive technology through TechOWL services. So TechOWL, like you said, is a program at the Institute of Disabilities at Temple University. We are the state's Assistive Technology Act program. So I know someone here is from New Jersey on the call. New Jersey also has one. TechOWL is not the New Jersey program. So they are through the Disability Justice Center, I believe. But TechOWL serves the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and our main office is in Pennsylvania. In Philadelphia. And we help people explore, get, and learn assistive technology. So I'm going to kind of go through a little bit of how we help people explore, get, and learn assistive tech. So one of our main programs is our assistive technology lending library that anyone is able in the state of Pennsylvania to use. We all know, some of us are users of assistive tech on this call. We all know how expensive they can be. And it's kind of daunting to purchase an assistive device without knowing if it's going to work for us or not. So before you purchase something, please know that we probably have that device if it does not require a prescription. In our lending library, we have a lending library of over 500 unique devices and 1,500 total devices. We have low vision equipment like so many different magnifiers. We have the Envision glass. We have the Orcam My Eye and the Orcam Read. We have the WeWalk cane, Braille labeler, multiple refreshable Braille displays to compare and contrast. And that is just an abbreviated list of the low vision technologies that anyone can borrow to explore assistive technology with us. We also have some tech for all disabilities. So we have hearing tech, we have activities of daily living, we have sensory, we have speech tech. The list kind of goes on, computer access. And the great thing about exploring assistive tech with us is that we have a low vision therapist on staff. Her name is Julianne, who could not make the call tonight. And she is also blind herself and is a user of assistive technology and is incredibly generous with her knowledge of assistive technology to anyone, but particularly those who have vision loss. Another way that we help people is we have consultations. We have OTs on staff, SLPs on staff, ATPs on staff. Julianne, in addition to being a low vision therapist, is also a CADIS. So we are able to provide expert knowledge through Zoom calls or in-person consultations and demonstrations of assistive technology. Through our lending library, we're also able to get back on a call or see you in person as well and train you for a few hours on how to use that device as you're making that decision to commit to assistive technology. Another way we help people explore on a programmatic level is that we provide accessibility expertise to organizations. And so if you're in an organization and you want to learn a little bit more about maybe digital or web accessibility, which is my specialty, I'm able to audit your website and I'm able to recommend ways in which you can make your website more reader friendly to a screen reader user. When it comes to getting assistive technology, we have many different programs. So I'm going to name a few, but really what I want you to take away from this is that you can just contact us and we can help you figure out how to use our programs. So really relevant programs that we offer to help people get assistive technology. One is our free phone program. So these are smartphones or landline phones that help people access a phone that might need some accessibility features. Smartphones are expensive. Apple phones particularly are expensive and are really popular for people with low vision. So we provide that for free for someone. Vision loss and hearing loss are two very common disabilities in which we work with in this program. We also have an exceptions aspect to this program. So if you need something like a switch interface to access your phone, we're able to also couple that into your phone. We run the I Can Connect program for the state of Pennsylvania, which is a program that gives people who are deaf and blind access to assistive technologies and the training needed to learn how to use those technologies. We also have a $400 scholarship for people to purchase assistive technology that's not covered by insurance or waivers and things like that. It's not a terrible amount of money considering an OrCam is like $6,000, but it's still like something useful, I think as well. And yeah, that is, and I think that's all I want to share today. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions. I will also leave my email in the chat if anyone has any questions at all regarding TechOWL services and programs and how we can connect.
All right, thanks, Tom. Awesome. It's super important that, there are services such as yours to get folks caught up to speed with all the assistive technology out there. So thanks again for the presentation. All righty, so our final presentation for tonight is Cait Pryor, a pro bono coordinator at the Legal Clinic for the Disabled, an organization that offers free legal representation for low-income people with disabilities in the Philadelphia area. Cait, please let us know more about the Legal Clinic for the Disabled and the types of services your organization provides.
Great. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me and including me. Like Andrew said, I'm Cait Pryor. I'm the pro bono coordinator and a lawyer at the Legal Clinic for the Disabled. So we are a nonprofit that provides free legal services to low-income people with a range of disabilities, and those disabilities are self-identified, so we don't look for any kind of proof of disability. It can be from anything from low vision to epilepsy to diabetes and autism, mental, physical, and we also offer services to the deaf and hard of hearing. To be eligible for our services, so all the services I'm going to list after this, to be eligible, the clients must meet 3 criteria. So they have to meet our income requirements, which is at or below 200% of the poverty line. So that's that low income element. They have to have a disability or be deaf and hard of hearing. And they must live in Philadelphia, Chester, Delaware, Montgomery, or Bucks County. Okay, so Philadelphia and 4 of the surrounding counties. I always forget one. I think I got them all. If not, they're on our website. And really the aim of our services is to make sure that folks feel included and independent. And so we're helping them to overcome some of the legal obstacles that might get in the way of that and might prevent them from having greater health and independence. So we support our clients in a few different ways. One is the more traditional way. So we provide the direct legal services to qualifying clients. Those legal services could be something as simple as information and advice. They could be resources and referrals, or they could be full representation. So it really depends on the client, what they need, and also we're a nonprofit, so our capacity as well. We typically, I would say the cases we most typically work on are we do a whole lot of housing work. Philadelphia now has certain zip codes where there's a right to counsel. So we do a lot of landlord-tenant housing work. a good amount of family law work. So that could be a domestic violence case, protection from abuse is what we call them in Pennsylvania, custody, a simple divorce. It could be child support. We work with clients on advanced planning documents. And by that, I mean wills, living wills, financial and healthcare powers of attorney. We do some name changes, an occasional guardianship, although we're shifting away from that. And then we assist kind of like on some other ancillary matters when our paralegals have the capacity. Sometimes they'll help someone with their Social Security application, but we don't represent on Social Security matters. We don't represent on criminal matters, and we don't handle like a negligence case. So that's one of the ways that we support our clients. We also attend outreach events. So things like this, right? Where we go into the community and we provide information about our services. Sometimes we'll do an info session for staff, or we'll do an info session for clients on a select legal issue. Additionally, we have 9 medical legal partnerships throughout Philadelphia. So you may, if like you've been to a health center, you might have seen us. And those partnerships include having one LCD staff member on site at least one day a week, with a goal of increasing access, but also supporting medical staff. If there's an issue that comes up medically that might also be able to address legally, it's kind of helpful to provide that intersection. So for example, if a client has asthma, it's worsened by mold in their apartment, maybe that's a case that would be referred to us. So providing some holistic and interlocking support for the client. And the final way that we support our clients are we provide free legal clinics throughout Philadelphia. So those are in partnership with different organizations. We often partner with VisionLink and LAMP to come on site to provide those free legal clinics for their clients. It's a start to finish service, one-day service, where basically my organization, actually me, so actually I reach out to volunteer firms throughout Philadelphia and ask them to donate their time for the day to sit down with clients, typically drafting wills and powers of attorney with clients. So every once in a while we'll do a different topic, but I would say that's the typical topic. And so clients are able to leave that day with their documents in hand. We're actually doing with VisionLink and LAMP next week, so very exciting. So I would say those are really the ways that that we provide services. We always aim to meet our clients where they're at. So if there are certain ways that we can help them to feel more informed or confident, that's always something that we have in mind. So thanks everyone. That's a little, hopefully I didn't speak too quickly, but that's a little bit about us.
Thank you, Cait, for the great presentation. It's definitely great to know that there's, an organization that provides legal assistance for the low-income, community with disabilities. So thanks again, and thank you to all for doing all your presentations within the allotted time. So now we can move on to the Q&A session. Michelle, I'm going to hand things back to you.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Certainly appreciate all of you being here tonight. If anyone has questions, please feel free to chime in. Andrew, did we have any that came in through the chat?
We had one about email contact for TechOWL, but that was answered in the chat. And again, everyone, at the end of this presentation, I'm going to have a list of everyone's contact information. And everyone in this group will also be emailed as a follow-up after tonight's presentation with that information as well.
All right. While folks are thinking about some questions you might have, I have a couple of questions myself, so I'll kick things off. Dr. Kinney, I wanted to start with you. Can you share, in terms of like the referral process, if a professional that's outside of the medical arena wanted to refer to you, what would that process look like?
Sure. Just calling our phone number, which I know Andrew said he would give, but if you call into the Feinblum Center, the social worker will contact you and do an intake and do that. So yeah, we do get referrals who are from non-medical practices as well. Sometimes we'll get referrals from outside resources where, they're working with a patient who's visually impaired and maybe hasn't had an eye exam in 10, 15 years. So we're always open to that. So yeah, just calling the Feinblum Center and describing the visual impairment, we'd be more than happy to see them as an appointment.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Any other questions from anyone else? Otherwise, I have a couple more.
I have, I have a question actually for
Good.
Dr. Kinney and Dr. Prasad. So with the change coming with Drexel, what are the chances that we will see additional low vision docs in Center City for those of us that rely on mass transit and would really like to see that happen in Center City?
I won't lie, it's definitely something that's being discussed. Satellite clinics are definitely a topic of conversation with the merger. I don't have any concrete evidence, but it definitely I think is on the pipeline of having clinics in the city as well. As of right now, though, I wish I knew more information, but I don't. I would expect though in the future there will be satellites in the city.
And how about Dr. Prasad? Are they looking at bringing anybody else in for, more additional hours than that what you're able to provide?
I've actually given them some more time, so just to start. But things take time and are slow, but yeah.
Okay, I'll pass that along.
Okay.
I have one other question, and I think maybe it could be answered by VisionLink and VLANJ. If you have an older person that is dealing with vision loss and they just don't want to access the services and their family really wants them to, what do you advise the steps that they can take?
All the audio.
Like, what should they do? I mean, if they can't force, say, their parent to, call one of your organizations, is it best for a family member to call, maybe start the ball rolling that way? I just wondered if you had any advice, because I get that a lot from different families.
Yeah, sure, definitely. So this is Trisha from Vision Loss Alliance, and yeah, we get that too a lot, and it's so hard, because we know that we can definitely help the individual. So having the family members call and relaying the information to them first off, is really ideal. And what I do is I kind of put it in a way. I have vision loss as well. I've experienced a lot of things that, the individuals are experiencing. I'm not, a senior or anything, but when you lose your vision, there's a process. And so I always let the family member know that, that I can offer support, if they can really maybe just get their friend or parent onto the phone. I could talk a little bit and let them know it'll be okay. I've experienced the same thing, but definitely start out with the family members at least, and try to worm your way in. And and then what happens too is they're like, okay, all right, I'll get back to you. Sometimes they don't, so I'll reach out again. I don't make a pest out of myself, but I'll reach out and just say, hey, I'm really, checking in. I'm curious to see how it's going, and take it from there for sure. I hope that helped.
Yep, thanks.
You're welcome.
This is Beth. Oh, no,
Sorry,
Melody, please go ahead. Go ahead, Melody.
Great minds think alike. No, kissing up to the boss. Yes. Hi, this is Melody May from VisionLink. I was going to agree with Trisha. What great advice. Vision loss is a lot like the process of grief and the different stages. And I've just through my experience throughout the years, I have learned that timing is everything. And a lot of times when folks aren't ready to accept those services, they may not be at a stage in which they're even open to hearing about the things that are available. And that peer approach might be useful to get someone who can relate with that individual and where they are and provide, advice in planting that seed and checking back and watering it. And, when the time is right, I think that they will be more open and accepting to that. But sometimes families can want to progress that individual beyond or, faster than they are willing to progress. So it is about timing a lot of times. Sorry, Beth.
No, don't be sorry at all. That's wonderful, Melody. I agree with Melody and Trisha.
Yeah,
And I think
definitely.
for family members, something that we found to be somewhat successful, because we know there's an urgency in the family member. They're not experiencing the vision loss themselves, and they want so badly to help and have some tangible tool that they can utilize to help their loved one. We have shared, you know, some basic tips and information to help get started, you know, some devices that might be really helpful just to have in the home, you know, some tricks for setting up their living situation to feel a little bit more confident and independent, sharing that with the family member directly to then kind of share with their loved one at that time in a way that might feel more comfortable for them, rather than trying to encourage the family member who might not be ready to come participate in a program yet, meeting them where they are at home. We also try to find out, are there other programs that that family member is currently participating in? Do they go to a senior center? Are they part of a, you know, a book club or a board game meetup? Are they involved in something else where we can connect with that organization or that provider and work with those staff or the volunteers or the caregivers that are in that facility or organization to make sure that they're aware of some things that they can do to be more supportive. So really, you know, exactly what Trisha and Melody said about meeting the individual where they are and helping the family understand that it does take time. It is a process.
Exactly.
Thank you.
All wonderful suggestions. As a person with vision loss myself, it's, you know, the continuous encouragement to get services and support, and, you know, all of the changes that occur with our vision loss as the vision loss progresses. Every stage of the journey is a little different, right? And we need different services. So reminders for us as individuals with vision loss or blindness, and also for our family members, to encourage the assistance is necessary and needed. So a wonderful discussion. Thank you all for sharing. I wanted to ask one question, Tom, and I apologize if I missed this, but a couple of things. Can you share how an individual would qualify for services, or is there a fee associated with receiving assistance from TechOWL on the technology and device side? And also, did you mention that there are TechOWLs in other states potentially? So is it a national organization?
Yes. So the Assistive Technology Act is a federal act. So every state and territory has one. There's 56. They're not all called TechOWL. TechOWL is just a Pennsylvania brand. All of our services are free. All of our consultations are free. Our lending library is free. So our library of stuff, we will ship it to your door through UPS. We also provide you a free shipping label that's prepaid inside the box. You can ship it back to us. If you don't have access to a UPS store, we will send out a UPS person to your home to pick up the device. So our motto is we try to make everything as free as humanly possible. We can go beyond our free services for fee for service, but that's really mostly our SLPs who are doing kind of insurance applications for communication systems and things like that. That's usually where people are being charged for something beyond our free service, but we try to give as robust of a perspective as free as we can. And and then I can put a link in the chat for other states as well. There's a directory online that you can find your state's resource. Did I answer all those questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Any other questions or any final thoughts or comments from our founding members before we close out today? Really, additional comments or thoughts or questions from anyone? I'm going to open it up once again.
Well, can I just say that this is so wonderful to get everybody together. So many familiar faces and then new faces and people that I've interacted with but haven't seen until now. Alexander. So great to see you again, or to meet you. I also wanted to comment about Legal Clinic for the Disabled Cat. Your services that you provide are absolutely amazing. My first exposure to you guys was going to your fundraiser with through VisionLink actually back in the day. And I really got to see the amazing work that you've done. And I've sent a lot of patients your way. You'd be surprised that as a low vision provider, how many people open up to you and the things that they share that they don't share with anybody else. And just to know the resources that are available is wonderful.
Thank you for saying that. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it. It's nice to know.
Yeah, you've helped a lot of my patients, actually.
Awesome. That's wonderful.
I just want to thank Michelle and Andrew and the foundation for kind of the birth of this. It's just good. It's just good. I learned some new things tonight, and I'll have so much more to pass on to my, fellow BVI friends in the Philadelphia area. It's just really wonderful. So thank you.
Thank you, Laura. And thanks to everyone on the call for being here and making this a successful endeavor. It's been a delight of ours to be able to put this together. So thank you very much. Any other additional thoughts, comments, or questions? Okay. Well, as mentioned, we will compile all of the contact information, websites, emails, all of the info that would be needed in order for your services to be shared. We will be creating a page specifically for Philly Phorum where we will house the recorded sessions as well as contact information for all of our presenters, not only today, but also our presentation in February, and that will be a running list. So those resources, all of your resources will be available on our site. We're in the process of getting that up and running, so be patient with us. On behalf of the Foundation Fighting Blindness, global leader in driving retinal degenerative disease research, we thank all of you for being on the call today. Many of you support the efforts of the Foundation Fighting Blindness and our professional outreach team. So thanks so much to each of you for doing that and for continuing to do so. We will be hosting another Philly Phorum in August, so stay tuned for the next date and time. Again, please share the Philly Phorum with the other professionals in your network who may be interested in presenting or participating. And we look forward to seeing you all again in just a few months. So thanks so much, and everyone have a wonderful evening.